Engines don't die fast, they fade slowly. A little heat here, a skip check there, and one day it just quits. But it doesn't have to. A few simple habits each month can keep a car running smoother, stronger, and far longer than most expect. No fancy gear, no mechanic bills. Just small bits of care that make a big difference. And don't miss the bonus tip at the end. It'll save you money and a lot of trouble. Number 9. Always use parking brake. This is something most of us are guilty of, skipping the parking brake. Yeah, even on flat ground. But the thing is, using it every single time you park is one of the simplest ways to make your car last longer. When you shift into park, a small metal pin inside your transmission, called the parking pawl, locks into place to hold the car still. That tiny piece of metal carries all the weight of your vehicle. And if you're on a hill, that's a lot of pressure. Even when the ground looks flat, that strain adds up over time. If the pawl ever gives out, you're suddenly looking at a repair bill that could set you back anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. And trust me, that's not something you want hanging over your head just because of a missed habit. So, make it routine to pull that parking brake every time you stop. It takes 2 seconds, keeps your transmission healthy, and saves you from expensive headaches down the road. A small move, but a huge payoff. Speaking of small habits that save big money, there's another one most drivers ignore until it's too late. Number 8. Don't run on low fuel. We've all been there, watching that fuel light flicker, thinking we can squeeze out just a few more miles. But running on fumes isn't saving you money, it's slowly wearing your car down. Over time, tiny bits of dirt and debris settle at the bottom of your fuel tank. When your gas level gets too low, the fuel pump starts pulling from that dirty layer instead of clean fuel. That's when the trouble starts. Those particles can clog up your filters, mess with your injectors, and force your pump to work a lot harder than it should. And if that pump gives out, you're looking at a repair that can easily cost anywhere between $600 and $1,200. The fix is easy. Don't wait for the warning light. Top off your tank when it's around a quarter full. Keeping enough fuel in the tank helps cool the pump, keeps the system clean, and makes your engine last a lot longer. Your car doesn't like running on empty any more than you do. Keep it fed, keep it healthy. And while fuel keeps the engine running, clean air keeps it breathing. Number 7. Check air filters. Most people don't think twice about their air filter, but it's basically your car's lungs. Every time you drive, your engine sucks in thousands of gallons of air, and that air passes through the filter before reaching the cylinders. Over time, dust, bugs, leaves, and all kinds of grime get trapped in there. When it's clean, air flows smoothly and your engine runs strong. But when it's clogged, your car has to work harder just to breathe. That means less power, worse fuel economy, and extra strain on expensive parts. One subscriber once shared how their 2017 Ford Explorer started feeling sluggish after years of driving without touching the air filter. When the mechanic finally pulled it out, the filter was so packed with dirt that light couldn't even pass through. That kind of neglect doesn't just hurt performance. It can shorten the engine's lifespan. Actually, when airflow gets restricted, the fuel-to-air balance goes off. That causes incomplete combustion, carbon buildup, and even damage to your catalytic converter. You could end up spending a couple $1,000s fixing something that started with a $20 part. According to the EPA, a dirty air filter can cut your car's acceleration by up to 11%. So yeah, don't overlook it, your engine will literally breathe easier. And once it's breathing fine, the next step is keeping it cool. Number 6. Coolant checks. Engines run hot, and that's exactly why coolant is so important. It's what keeps the temperature in check, preventing the motor from cooking itself under the hood. Coolant, or antifreeze, flows through the engine and radiator, carrying heat away so everything runs smoothly. When levels drop or the fluid gets old, things can go bad fast. Overheating is one of the most common and expensive causes of engine damage, But the good news is, it's completely avoidable. Checking coolant isn't complicated. Pop the hood and look at the reservoir. If it's below the min line, it's time to top up. Always use the right mixture your car manufacturer recommends. Most vehicles need a coolant flush and replacement every 2 to 5 years, depending on the type. While checking, take a quick look at the hoses and radiator too. Any leaks, cracks, or loose caps can cause serious trouble later. One important reminder though, never open the radiator cap while the engine is still warm. The pressure inside can cause boiling coolant or steam to shoot out, which can be dangerous. A quick check every few weeks keeps the system healthy and your engine safe from heat damage. And while coolant keeps things cool under the hood, the spark plug keeps it all alive. If you're still watching, you clearly care about your car, so hit that like button before we move to the next one. Number 5. Timely spark plug replacement. Spark plugs might look small, but they're the reason an engine even comes to life. Every time the key turns, these little parts create the spark that ignites the fuel-air mixture. That's what keeps the car moving. But like anything that works hard, they wear out over time. When that happens, the engine starts acting up. You might notice slower starts, uneven idling, or a drop in fuel efficiency that drains the wallet. Most car owners forget about spark plugs until the car starts misfiring or shaking at stoplights. That's a sign they've already pushed too far. Replacing them on schedule, as recommended in the owner's manual, keeps combustion clean and power consistent. Fresh plugs help the engine run smoother, save fuel, and reduce strain on the ignition system. It's a simple job that can make a noticeable difference in performance. Even high-quality plugs don't last forever, usually needing replacement every 30,000 to 60,000 miles, depending on the type and car model. Think of it as a quick tune-up that keeps everything firing perfectly. Staying on top of it means fewer stalls, better mileage, and an engine that runs like it's supposed to. And once everything's firing right, the next step is making sure fuel is just as clean and reliable. Number 4. Use high-quality fuel. When it comes to what goes inside your car, quality really does matter. Cheap fuel and bargain bin oil might seem fine at first, but over time, they wear your engine down. Bad fuel can carry impurities that mess with injectors, while low-grade oil breaks down faster and leaves gunk behind. That's a recipe for sluggish performance and costly repairs later. The smarter way to do this is to fill up at trusted gas stations that don't cut corners on quality. Always stick to the octane rating your car was built for. Using premium when your engine doesn't need it won't give you any magic boost. It just lightens your wallet. As for oil, go with a high-quality synthetic one that matches what your manufacturer suggests. It keeps everything lubricated, reduces friction, and protects during hot or cold weather. And one more thing, skip fuels that have too much ethanol unless your car is made for it. Too much ethanol pulls in moisture and can corrode parts over time. Treat your car to clean fuel and good oil, and it'll repay you with smoother rides and fewer trips to the mechanic. Now that the tank's filled with the right stuff, there's something else that matters just as much: how often the car actually runs. Number 3. Avoid small trips. Engines don't like being started, stopped, and shut off all the time. Short trips might feel convenient, but they don't give the engine enough time to warm up and run at its best temperature. When that happens too often, the oil never gets hot enough to burn off moisture or contaminants, which can turn into thick sludge inside the engine. That sludge builds up slowly and starts causing wear on vital parts long before anyone realizes what's happening. It's an easy fix though. Try to plan errands together so multiple stops happen in one trip instead of several little ones. Every now and then, take the car for a longer drive, at least 20 to 30 minutes, so the engine reaches full temperature, and any condensation inside has time to evaporate. That single habit keeps the oil cleaner and helps the engine stay healthy. People who mostly drive short distances should also keep a closer eye on oil changes. The oil wears out faster under those conditions, even if the mileage doesn't seem high. Giving the car time to stretch its legs once in a while does more good than most realize, keeping everything running smoother for years. But once the engine's moving freely, the next thing to think about is how much weight it's pulling. Number 2. Don't overload your car. Overloading a car might not seem like a big deal, but it slowly wears everything down faster. When the vehicle carries more weight than it should, the engine has to push harder, the brakes need more distance to stop, and the suspension takes extra strain. All of that adds up over time, shortening the life of parts that should have lasted much longer. Every vehicle has a payload limit, the total weight it can safely carry, including passengers and cargo. It's usually listed in the owner's manual, or on a sticker inside the door frame. Staying within that limit keeps the engine, transmission, and tires under less stress. Removing extra stuff from the trunk or back seat helps too. Many drivers forget how much weight they're dragging around daily without realizing it. Roof racks are another hidden culprit. Loading heavy items on top may seem convenient, but it throws off balance, increases wind resistance, and burns more fuel. Use them only when needed. Even small constant overloads, like carrying too much under a cover or in the trunk, can affect performance and handling. Keeping the car light isn't just about saving gas, it's about keeping every system working comfortably and safely. After that, it all comes down to where the car spends most of its time. Number 1. Parking habits. Parking might not sound like a big deal, but where a car rests can make a difference in how long it lasts. Leaving it out in the open exposes it to sunlight, rain, dust, and temperature, changes that wear down the paint, dry out rubber seals, and even affect parts under the hood. Constant exposure to extreme weather slowly takes a toll on everything from the battery to the fluids. Whenever possible, park inside a garage or covered area to keep it safe from harsh conditions. If indoor parking isn't an option, a good quality car cover can do wonders. It keeps the surface clean, blocks UV rays, and protects the paint from bird droppings or tree sap. Another useful tip: avoid starting a cold engine during snow or freezing temperatures, unless the plan is to actually drive. Warming it up briefly and then shutting it off can trap moisture inside and cause corrosion over time. Parking smartly doesn't take much effort, but it helps preserve both the car's appearance and its mechanical health for the long run. And before wrapping up, here's a quick bonus tip most drivers never think about: a small part under the hood that keeps the engine healthy from the inside out. Maintain PVC valve. The PCV valve doesn't get much attention, but it plays a big role in keeping the engine clean. It controls pressure inside the crankcase and prevents sludge from building up. When it clogs, pressure starts rising, seals can blow, and the engine ends up leaking oil or pushing out blue smoke. All that grime slowly suffocates performance. The good news is that replacing it costs less than a cheap dinner. Ignoring it, though, can cause engine damage worth thousands. That's all it takes: a few minutes each month to keep the heart of your car alive. No complicated tools, no costly secrets, just consistency. Did you find the video helpful? Let us know in the comments. And click here for the next one. Thanks for watching.